There we go. Man, I'm going to turn on the mic. I need the mic. It's very important. As I mentioned last week, it's a very important part of the show. Welcome, everybody. Cannabis News with Joe Klare. It's October 15th, 2018. A new week here at the Marijuana Times. Check us out at marijuanatimes.org. Click the video tab at marijuanatimes.org to find this show. You can also search the Marijuana Times on YouTube and Vimeo. And for those of you who don't want to see the video, you just want the audio version, Apple Podcast is the place for you. Search Marijuana Times on there. Today, talking about Massachusetts regulators and their thoughts on social use and how far that is away. Social marijuana use is in Massachusetts. Also some cannabis news from Cannabis Growth and CNBC. And also apparently there's a lot of black market marijuana coming out of Oregon. Talk about all those things coming up. First, of course, Cannabis News is brought to you by Natureside and their organic, all-natural pesticides, nature-side.com, a proud sponsor of the show. If you're a cannabis grower in a state where it is legal, you want to be regulatory compliant, you want to grow safe and poison-free, you don't want to use harmful chemicals on what you are growing for obvious reasons. You can accomplish all of these things at Natureside, nature-side.com, a proud sponsor of Cannabis News. Misclick there. It's all right. Moving on. From Julia Granowitz over marijuanatimes.org. Massachusetts regulators are not ready for social cannabis use just yet. Well, that makes sense because they're not even ready for retail sales yet. They should be, but they are not. State legalizes cannabis. When a state legalizes cannabis, there's a lot more that must happen after voters or lawmakers approve the law. Of course, in Massachusetts, they're still waiting on retail sales, and has been delayed quite a bit. And things like social consumption venues are still, quote, years away, according to the Massachusetts Cannabis Control Commission. Quote, there's no workable process currently under the law by which a city or town can allow this, and that needs to happen before a facility can open. So I would say that it's a matter of years, and right now there would be a need to be a change in the legislation before cities and towns can move forward. It's according to the Cannabis Control Commission in Massachusetts. So apparently there is a mechanism by which social use can be allowed under the voter approval law from 2016, but towns would have to approve that, and there is no way for them to do that. There's no process under current laws for a local referendum to be petitioned in the first place to allow that to happen. So if you're waiting for social use in Massachusetts, you're going to be waiting a while. Seems weird. I mean, I know there's bars, people drink a lot. Seems like, wouldn't take that long to have something similar for cannabis. Since you can go into any bar and just order shot after shot after shot and get completely blitzed and wasted and walk right out the door, right into public. But they can't put some kind of mechanism together for that for cannabis. It's just, I don't know, not feasible at this time. You just have to wait. It's a lot of waiting. Legalization really is a waiting game. I mean, obviously, things have advanced quicker than many people thought, even 10 years ago. But there's still a lot of waiting and delays. And you'll notice that's what a lot of this show is about. I'm reporting on stories and talking about things that involve waiting and delays. It's fun. It's good stuff. People in Massachusetts, I'm sure they love the wait. They're so excited in 2016. They voted for this. Hey, retail sales in Massachusetts, legal marijuana in Massachusetts. That's great. 2018 is almost over, and they're still waiting. And then for social use, well, they're waiting in the next decade, apparently. This next story comes from CNBC.com. Cannabis could disrupt a $500 billion market, says the CEO of a top marijuana market maker, after a deal with the DEA. The marijuana maker in question is Cannabis Growth, and their CEO was on CNBC. Bruce Linton, he's the co-founder, chairman, and CEO of Cannabis Growth. He said, under DEA approval, we shipped for the first time legally, and I highlight legally, cannabis from Canada to the U.S. According to Linton, the DEA-approved partner, which they have not announced yet, can begin to do medical research, clinical trials if necessary, and create the data set that enables people to know when, what, where, and maybe it can become fairly regulated in the U.S. with some input that way. In other words, cannabis has been allowed by the DEA, as has Tilray, to ship cannabis to the United States for research. As a lot of people have pointed out, there's plenty of companies in the United States that could do this and grow high quality cannabis. There's a lot of great growers in the United States, but the federal illegality of cannabis, I guess this is a way around that. So they're going to ship it from Canada to research it. Listen, I'm all for research. Absolutely. Studies, do studies, clinical trials, all that stuff. There should be those little things on every bulletin board. Clinical trials for marijuana users. Come smoke weed and we'll study you. And you pull a little number off of it and you call the number and you're involved. It's like those sleep studies and all the other studies they do. Yes, cannabis studies. Many, many cannabis studies. Tremendous cannabis studies. That's fantastic. But I mean, there's stuff. I mean, it seems like it. I know. I'm trying to use logic where logic is not available, and that is in the area of marijuana laws in the United States. And that's where you get something like, well, we have plenty of great quality cannabis here to study, but we're gonna have it shipped all the way from Canada because reasons and stupidity and lack of logic. I don't know. But yes to the studies. But there has to be a more efficient way of doing this. Anyway, the CEO told Kramer, he said, we disrupt alcohol potentially, meaning the cannabis companies. Cigarettes potentially in terms of smoking cessation. We really disrupt pharmaceutical because whether or not you're in geriatric care, you're dealing with other conditions, you're someone who can't sleep, you're going through an oncology treatment, I think you're going to find cannabinoid therapies really hit there. And so you add up all that together, plus an existing $200 billion illicit market, and that pretty quickly gets you up to around $500 billion as far as disruption of global markets with marijuana legalization, which, again, and he even says, it's kind of a back-of-the-envelope math, but the point he's getting at is that legal cannabis is a huge disruptor in many global markets, including tobacco, alcohol, any kind of recreation, any kind of medicine. It's going to be disruptive to all of these markets. And Canada, at least federally, is way ahead of the United States at this point on this issue. Will the United States catch up? A lot depends on what happens November 6th. Some people have to go. People have to be removed from their jobs. A couple guys named Sessions would be a great start. If I could pick two guys to remove from their jobs when it comes to cannabis, it would be the two Sessions. Jeff Sessions from Attorney General and Pete Sessions from his spot as chairman of the House Rules Committee, blocking multiple marijuana amendments from ever coming to the floor. We could break that logjam, and then something may happen at the federal level. Until then, it probably will not. This last story is from BendBulletin.com. Out of Oregon. Oregon faces a black market marijuana problem. What? There's black market marijuana in Oregon? Holy crap. I should have made this the first story. Why is it third? Why is this the third? Why is this breaking news not the top of the show? I'm sorry. I apologize to everyone. I should have led with this. It's so big. Law enforcement authorities intercepted $48 million worth of black market marijuana headed from Oregon to 37 states over a 3-year period. And officers blame the illegal exports on a statewide glut of regulated marijuana and low prices. Some of the black market marijuana comes from illegal growers, some diverted from the legal recreational producers, processors, or retailers, and some comes from medical growers. It acknowledged the Oregon Liquor Control Commission, which oversees, of course, Oregon's legal recreational marijuana program. About 14,500 pounds of illegal product was seized, probably mostly grown on U.S. Forest Service land from several counties in Washington. This according to a report from the Oregon-Idaho high-intensity drug trafficking area, which, these reports, as I pointed out before, are biased against cannabis. But here's the thing. And they said there's been a increase of marijuana seized this year. Yeah, okay. There's a lot of marijuana growing in Oregon. That's why prices are so low. Prices are very low in Washington. They're falling precipitously in Colorado and California and have been for several years. And all of these things are going to come together to undercut the black market. Low legal prices undercuts the black market. Will there be a black market for marijuana? Of course there will. There always will be. The only way to get rid of it, we're not going to get rid of it. The only way to do anything about it is to undercut it legally with prices and through the market. And to do that, well, you have to spread legalization, not restrict legalization. If these people think restricting legalization and making it tighter and more regulated is going to stop black market marijuana or curtail it in some way, that's nuts. Black market marijuana, by definition, existed under Prohibition. There's always been black market marijuana in Oregon. Is there more now? Maybe so. Are Prohibition states acting like a magnet, drawing that extra marijuana out of Oregon? Absolutely. That's the way the market works. But the answer is legalization. The answer is not a restriction of legalization or extra regulations or any of that. Let the market undercut the black market dealers, and there will be less of them. Because Prohibition didn't work. Full Prohibition, there was a lot of them. There's a lot of them now, but there will be less because of economic reasons, not because of law enforcement reasons or efforts. Thanks everybody for checking us out. Cannabis News, marijuanatimes.org. Check out the stories on there, social media links, all that stuff. Click the video tab. Of course, thank you to Natureside, nature-side.com for being a proud sponsor of the show. Thank you all for watching and listening and sharing the show. Please continue to do so. We'll see you next time right here on Cannabis News.